Mortal Online will always be under development. It will always evolve and expand. It's time, baby. Chicka boom! What I'm drinking some lemonade. Some lemonade.
Short disclaimer here, there are timestamps in the video. I really try to make it as compact as possible.
Hello everyone.
And welcome to the Wolfszeit channel. Today with a very special topic, I mean, always special. The Territory Control Overhaul. Starboard also published additional infos in a document that is also summarized in the video, so use the timestamps if you like.
I can assure you that we are very busy building a hell of a content expansion update to the game. Today we're gonna go through the new system we have in place in development process, so we are fine-tuning things, we're finishing some of the systems, and there's still some room for tweaks, updates, but obviously not complete rewriting systems, right? You know, we're gonna have a PTR obviously soon where we want to go through a lot of testing from especially combat and obviously the TC system rules. So this is Myrland divided in natural regions. As you can see, we currently have 31 regions. We've been working a little bit on this, you know, should it go up a little bit, should it go down a little bit? That is a tricky balance. We want everyone to be able to participate from large groups and guilds to obviously smaller groups. So you don't have to be a keep owner to participate in trying to siege and control any of these regions. And so anyone can claim a region. So just to clarify a little bit, you see there's a round blob inside some of the regions. Those are the keeps, as you may know. They have their specific area around those keeps still with their own influence. But then we have the regions, you can see them in different colors. This is our current version, like I said, 31 regions. They all have their own unique bonuses. Anything from a manufacturing place like a mining camp or a lumber mill system, where if you control it, then obviously they work for you and you can go to this place and gather the resources they have produced and then obviously bring it wherever you want, right? Right, so anything from specific guild bonuses to, like I said, production, manufacturing machineries that allows you to go there, empty those, use that materials, right? So there's obviously quite a list of different things and powers and bonuses within each of these regions. Obviously, we're open ears if you know, you have some interesting suggestions in terms of those kind of bonuses, buffs or manufactories. You know, we're happy to hear that now as early as possible if we wanna. Obviously, keeps will have their own strength and bonuses, and also that's obviously something we try to promote as well. You know, why go for a keep? There should be some obvious bonuses tied to that as well, right? But this is the first big step also to just make sure that anyone can jump in, have fun and participate in trying to siege any of these regions. Our focus has been, how do we make this exciting and fun? Sieges that happen since day one, how exhausting it can be, how, you know, devastating it can be if you lose everything and you want to take a break from the game, or you simply just lost so much invested in a base. So our goal have always been to try to promote more fun, meaningful, a little bit easier to access from small scale to large scale without heavily investing incredible amount of resources and siege machineries. You know, we still want it to be kind of a pain in the ass to completely wipe enemy base from the game, because we all know what that means. It usually hits a negative impact to the game and the players, depending on obviously on what side you are on. You will still be able to wipe someone from the map, but it should be time consuming and should be costing you, because we want to steer everyone's attention to have more fun, engaging siege moments, and this is that system. I'm gonna show you one of the bases. Okay, this is a camp, a base, outpost I think is the right term, which is the control hub of one of regions. So we are one of these regions right now, but as you can see here, so this is also a kind of like a placeholder siege camp tent, as you recognize it. Outside of each of these outposts so far are 3 kind of siege tents, but they will be modified and look different. There will be fire pots or explosive urn pots in these that you can produce or obtain. Pick one of these up and then you run over it. The first step to engage in a siege is actually to access the map. I don't have the regions here now, but you know, this map here. You click on this map to get information on the region and declare a siege. When that happens, you know, you declare a siege on claim this region from someone else, which means there's a timer starting, and we are currently looking at an hour of timer. We're not talking about a day's timer here. So you initiate the siege from the UI map here, and when you have done that, that is the terms for the owners and you as the attacker. The first stage to siege one of these camps is you take the explosive urns. You know, there will be more details on exactly what it is from these tents. Base is open already, so I can't show you the exact how it looks, but I'm going through the rules. You place this explosive here outside of the gate. And if you have placed, currently we have 20 urns required. So we're not talking about the huge grind here. You know, you have 3 tents that they are produced from. So if you split up the team and you can run here, you will fill that quite quickly. And when you do that, they explode. So the entire gate will open up. So you can enter here. And then obviously when you enter here, you're in the inner yard. You can access here, but you are still closed into this small inner yard. The next phase is that you need to open the gates to enter the next stage of this place. We will have a wheel or a lever like this that you enable, and then this slowly ticks up. So obviously that is the time for you to enter, right? When it ticks up. There's another gate here, so there's some option to spread around. And as soon as you access this place, this is the flag with the ownership. So if you are, you know, whatever guild, this is your flag, right? Your guild banner. Enemies that are sieging enter this area here, you know, like King of the Hill. This starts to go down slowly. And obviously the defender's goal is similar to, you know, you recognize that from some other games. If they step into this area, they slow down or stop the ticking down. Yeah, ignore this. This is a placeholder just to, you know, go through the mechanics. So a little bit like Battlefield, King of the Hill, you know, capture the flag kind of thing. But yeah, depending on the defenders going in here, they may stop it or fight off dimensions to fight on and spread around and even hide. If you are smacking the owners have to regroup in their base. They obviously have their own doors and the owners can use it. That means you have access to a specific type of bank in here as the owner. And if you enter here, you will have your own priest that you can teleport to and resurrect. So you can try to re-gear here before you jump out. Obviously, if you just jump straight out here, you're not, you know, claiming the flag on this line in your base. So you have to commit, because then obviously you would just try to camp in here, right? You have a few options to get out and try to capture the flag as a group. You can obviously jump on the back here, right? And try to sneak around here. You're not gaining flag in here either. But if you run, try to hide from line of sights and takes a little path here, for instance. As soon as you're over here, this line, kind of like this line here, that's when you start stopping the flag from being taken. So you can try to reclaim it and fight back. And that line goes from just outside of the stronghold type of building here, and it goes all the way over here. And obviously we are happy to hear feedback on design suggestions, or if there's anything that seems off with our current placement. We try to play around and see, you know, what can give interesting tactics. Who will take down the flag, and then the attackers will put their flag on and put it up if they manage to be here. We're talking about an hour currently that we have on our draft. You know, 10 minutes to do that, 10 minutes to take down the flag, and 10 minutes to put it up. You know, around those numbers currently. The goal is to promote interesting, fun fighting in these 2 different stages. You know, the defenders have one edge, which means they can re-gear in here and resurrect with the priest, right? There's a few options we have. One way is obviously here in the second stage. If you're waiting for this gate to open, and if you can place a barrier here and enter that way, then obviously you're bypassing the gate. We're also possibly looking at, you can't start the next phase if you haven't, you know, unlocked the stage before it. But we also have a few options to add specific collision in these areas here, so you can't enter that way. But those are obviously some of the things we want to test and play around with to see what's fair and what's balanced. This is also why we want you guys in on this. So there's no cap currently on what one single guild can own. There are 31 regions, and anyone can try to siege and control any of these regions. Obviously, the more you hold, the more difficult it will be to keep them, because obviously a small group of 5 can obviously start a siege here. And if there's no defending, it takes approximately 1 hour currently for the 5-man group to claim it. You are 10 people here attacking, and there's one guy resurrecting and hiding somewhere here And obviously you 10 guys, shouldn't be too hard for 10 people to find that one guy, right? But if you're a smaller group or such, or, you know, there are 2 guys running around and just hiding, there are different types of rules that we're looking at here, right? Should you know, like in Battlefield, should one player that enters it on the other side completely stop the tick rate or just slow it down depending on numbers? So it's a number game, you know, if you have more numbers, your tick is more powerful. Should we have sudden death rules? You know, there's quite a few question marks here. What fits best our game? And obviously, again, we can never count for being perfect balance in terms of player numbers, right? There's also different types of buffs if you control the different regions. Anything from pet bonuses, different types of bonus and abilities that can be interesting for different types. Extraction, butchering, fishing bonuses, all kind of different things. And we're also looking at the more you have connected, there may be an additional effect and bonuses tied to those regions. So there's always an incentive to try to grab more and grow your lands. So there are various types of them, and you will see them what those bonuses are on the map. And like I said, we're also open to hear suggestions on these types of bonuses. What should the different regions be able to add? You know, if you have some cool ideas that fits. But yeah, obviously we will run PTR on this, and I guess that's when we get down to business in terms of if there's something critical in the design or such. More content for Zergs, no content for small guilds. No, Bazwak, as I said initially, this is designed heavily in mind from small groups to large groups. Like I said, you can siege and claim one of these with 3 people. 3 people is enough, and it takes you 1 hour. It also takes 100 people 1 hour. We have analyzed a lot when it comes to sieging a house, keep, and those kind of things. And that is a pure nightmare when it comes to having a perfect solution that does make the majority happy. There's a few suggestions and things we have identified that could probably improve things that the majority agrees with. But there is no magical fix to make wiping a player base and their assets from the game easy and fast. Because that means we also often lose players or force a lot of players to take a break from the game. Like we saw in the first game. And like we also see a little bit here, right? If you have had a exhausting siege and you lose all your stuff, it's quite natural to take a break or leave, you know. And a lot of the vets have also said and agree with that, you know, that's not very healthy for the game. We want to play more, but some of my friends are exhausted by that long siege and that huge loss. So we try to steer those kind of gameplay into these fields instead. Interesting, fun, engaging, instant reward to have these types of siege battles. We are looking at the cost to obviously declare the war, the siege, but you don't have to build manganons and shoot 1,000 boulders on the gate or the buildings to claim it. This is like base that control, an outpost that control these regions. You fight for control rather than destruction. Like I said, we also want to open up for this now because sometimes you guys also have some awesome ideas. There will be a grace period if you manage to claim one or defend one. There's a grace period, so you can take a little break. On declare a siege on a region, there will be a little siege window before it starts. But we're not talking about days or 24 hours. I think we're looking at 1 hour. Yes, we will have this toggable on the map. We have slow times in a game in periods, absolutely. We had that over the 20 years. That's nothing unusual, especially if we have been working hard on expansion, because obviously working a few months on a hard expansion and new content, that will be a downtime in terms of exciting game content. The veterans get bored, everyone that playing a game that have done everything is waiting for the next thing, right? A natural cycle. And then we patch, then obviously that brings up player population interest. And as long as we hit solid features and content moving forward, that will obviously have a happy player base supporting and playing and hopefully growing steadily over the years. We're absolutely going to do marketing and push harder along with Reckoning, and obviously another step with the North American server. No, Epic Games doesn't pay us. Again, another extremely odd statement. Why would Epic pay us? For what? We don't have an official or public, I would say, a public date for when we aim to release Reckoning. Obviously, when we are in PTR, we will probably have a decent estimate depending on how everything goes in the PTR. This is an open sandbox. You can't just bring 5 people and siege or fight 5 people if you don't make the terms with those 5 people, right? But that's not a very common case. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when you We have not decided an exact location yet for the North American server, but as I said before, if you are an American player, you don't have to worry about the ping, because you will be 100% within the threshold of the ping prediction, ping normalization system. You have to be further away to not be within that parry range. So you don't have to worry if you are in North America already. We want to convert those players that are interested in sieging, fun rewards, instant rewards into this system. This is the solution for the main gameplay content there. Then obviously there will always be main sieges and wiping bases. In this system you can have exciting, more fair commitment, pick it up easy with a small group of friends and enjoy awesome combat and PvP. You know, now is the time we want feedback. The compatibility is next stream. So then we're gonna deep dive into that. That is not this one. We're actually testing to see if we can add some persistent ballistas on the wall sections as well in some of the towers that you can load up with siege ammo next to it. You can destroy it, but you can also repair it without having to fully build it. If that's we don't have the date for PTR. We will announce it obviously in the community. People don't agree when it comes to what timer should be the siege windows, so there is no magical solution that okay, now everyone is happy. I'm sure you can debate each other's already here and you will see that many doesn't agree on specific huge changes, and that have been one of our biggest challenges. We have analyzed, gone through all of the feedback the past months or even more since the siege system was implemented, and over time we slowly seen a picture of what people are not fully happy with, but also we don't have a perfect solution and no solution from the community. The only thing we know is that we can't make sieging easy mode. If you can wipe someone from the game, we lose players more than gain. So it will always be a huge commitment to wipe someone from the game. It will always be doable because it's part of the game. There's no magic fix for entire TC. There are good ways to expand it to make it fun, rewarding, engaging, because most of the guys that are talking about this want great PvP, right? If you are in a great battle with a nice group, even numbers, you can get some of the best PvP experience on internet in this game. I think many of you guys agree with that. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few that wanted Dimension 1. It didn't make the top list when you voted, but now when we're slowly approaching to the next phase, then obviously that may be an option. It's not dying because of subscription. Our subscription have not gone down. It's actually been increasing a lot over the latest month, and now during not the latest month, prior months, and now the later months, we have been quite standing still. You know, we get new players to join in that have a great opportunity to actually learn a game and not be too much violated by old board players. The subscription is holding very steadily, allows us to continue to work. As long as we have the support, we are extremely happy to be able to continue. So it's a natural cycle when people are bored waiting on new content. It's gonna happen every time we have a cycle. Yeah, like I said many times, we do plan to do even free to play eventually. A lot of things ties together in this expansion, and it wouldn't make sense to release it split up. We already discussed this last stream, and it actually came from you, the players. One of the question was, why are we releasing the adrenaline system without the combat abilities? Doesn't make sense. And the more we thought about it, then yeah, okay, we wanted to deliver a few things with the adrenaline system. But yeah, the big punch comes with the abilities, right? To spend adrenaline. The majority said, no, take your time, do it good and release it fully instead. But yeah, it takes time to develop MMO functions, features. I mean, even though we throw in 100 developers from a major company, you still need to code and test and go through them. Sometimes you can't just throw more developers on one feature. And again, if there's so many mixed reaction on specific things, it may be easy for you to think, well, I think like this and my friend thinks like this, so it's a no-brainer. Star Wars should do it now. Why are they not doing it faster? There are more to it than that. You may be the minority thinking that, or it's like 50-50, or we cause so much more damage by changing something if we are not careful. That's why we can't just rush big changes for the game, because that may be devastating for the majority of our players. And also, again, small reminder, the majority is not vocal. They're not in here discussing daily things. If they see the holy shit, now everything I worked for is completely changed, the rules changed, fuck that, I'm gonna leave the game. and we want to tie marketing tied to great gaming experience, because then we get more value in the marketing. So there's always cycles that are very tricky to handle. That is the thievery assassination professions. I wanted that on day one, but if the community didn't want it that fast, then I have adjusted that focus in the team. We have tried to tap into those that the majority wants, but there are some really cool things that I want with those professions, which obviously will make those types of players happy. We will see after Reckoning what the next phase of focus will be. There's a few ones that we think will be right choices. I think we can do a new poll for the roadmap in future updates. We don't have to go on the old one all the time. Obviously, if we have new people active, different people active, then those numbers may change, right? The majority probably, I'm not sure exactly, but many have pointed out, obviously, we don't like the spinning meta, but then some people loves it, thinks it's cool, they feel like a ninja and they're mastering it, and there's a lot of skills to it, even though it may be silly for some. But in our vision, we didn't intend that would be the meta. That's something the players create naturally. So we hope that we will add new options and tactics that will replace the majority of the spin meta. Hope that makes sense. So we will see during the PTR if we can get closer to that vision. And yeah, there will be, we are looking at some changes on the actual keep siege mechanics. Like I said, I explained the difficulties with that. There is no solution, and the majority are not agreeing on major changes, and we can't just make it easy mode. Why is code to get in 2 towns under a keep? So we're not looking at what guild gets what. We're trying to make a natural geographic Myrland that has its natural regions already. But again, if there are some severe issues with that, and the player base point that out, that there's a problem in some of that, then obviously we will look into that. Again, we don't look into specific guilds or areas. We don't even know where the guilds are, because we're not participating with that whatsoever. We are non-biased. Again, we are totally unbiased, and we don't give you feedback. If you find any issues, point them out and we'll take a look, right? That's all we can do.
So Starvolt also dropped this awesome document where everything is written down, very compact as well. It's also linked down in the description. I will summarize that now for you. But the most important thing is also the questionnaire Starvolt gave us. So please also fill out the questionnaire. That would be awesome. It's also linked down in the description. So there's no actual numbers of the benefits of the regions. This is up to the players. So fill out the question. So in very short, the old system is scraped. The old keep circle system is gone. Only keeps could own real territory and benefit from the taxes, but now everyone can with the region system. The new region system will split into 31 regions. Any guild can contest and claim these. Keeps are not required for that. Each region gives unique buffs, mining, fishing, pet X, or whatever benefit. So each region will have a fortified outpost. Outposts generate local resources, having banker and a priest, and hold the region's ownership mechanic. Outpost sieges having 3 stages of PvP events, so breaking the outer gate, using auto-spawning oil pots to destroy the outer gate. Carrying them can be interrupted or punished. After you broke the first gate to the second gate, turn wheels to open inner gates. It takes like 10 minutes. You can interrupt it by that. Defenders can contest this. Third stage, capturing the flag mechanic. So standing in flag zones to earning the points. So the flag lowers over time. It takes about 15 minutes to take control of an uncontested flag. Overtime activates if attackers still contest when the time runs out. For outposts, you don't have to bring your own siege gear. So you need no tent, no manganon, and nothing to build. What happens after an outpost siege? So region enters a 2-hour cooldown, so can't be contested again immediately. So siege results are broadcasted to all players. During sieges, murder counts are disabled in the area. This is very important. Murder counts are disabled in the area during a siege. Keeps also getting a rework too. So keeps are now special regions with stronger buffs. They have also increased taxes across all regions. There will also be future bonuses for owning a keep and stuff, but the Starboard needs more time. Now also very, very important info. The current siege system will also be overhauled. They have no specific details on that yet, but issues will be addressed, like fake sieges with no attackers, siege windows that are making all structures vulnerable, not just one, the option to lock out wilderness guilds, rebuilding structures mid-siege, and many more stuff. But here finally, the fix people talked about a lot of times. People were building buildings that you can't siege stuff because it was protected by other buildings that was also owned sometimes by even other sub-guild they made, or they were just rebuilding all the stuff, and it was not even theoretically unsiegeable, it's also practically often unsiegeable. So this is good that they will adjust this system. But these changes are expected post-launch. So again, would be awesome if you could give your feedback to StarWorld directly with the questionnaire. You can also comment below because I know they're also reading all the comments. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this stream summary. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe, would be really awesome, by the way. And if I may include my own conclusion here, I think StarWorld is on a good path with their development, but we will see how this plays out. I'm still having some concerns about the timers. I'm also having some concerns about the outpost mechanic and how this will play out over a long time, because I also thinking about when we are owning a territory and stuff and we need to be there 24/7 more or less every 2 hours to defend our territory, then this could be a little bit exhausting. I know that the whole mechanic is not centered about 24/7 online holding one territory and stuff, but of course a lot of guilds, alliances and stuff will try it. But on the other hand, it will encourage PvP a lot. But we will also see how it plays, because just looking at it and just hearing the facts is not like actually experiencing it. Maybe you also have some good ideas to improve this mechanic, or you have maybe some concerns about something, about maybe the timers and stuff, or maybe even about the structure itself and stuff, then please leave it in the questionnaire or please leave it in the comments, would be very awesome. So special thanks to all the supporters, of course. Carmel, Lucario, Mr. Minerva, Damn Tired, Ronus, Paternax, Column Bulldog, and all the others, of course. So, Territorial Control, Outpost, Siege Hard. I mean party hard, of course. And having fun. So, see you all next time. Goodbye.